Alicja BORUCINSKA comes from Traffic Captain, which is a user acquisition agency that's managing over 100 games at the moment. And she told me something that really made me laugh. She said that being in user acquisition is like being a pickup artist. So hopefully she'll tell us a bit more about pickup artistry today. Alicja.
It's on. Oh, now it works. Awesome. Perfect. Hello. How are you? So what are we going to talk about today is about affiliate marketing. Why this topic? We work a lot with game developers, game publishers, and the problem they always have when they come to affiliate network, because they heard from somewhere that actually it's a good user acquisition channel, is that, but what do those affiliates actually do? Where do they have traffic from? Is it all from like some gaming websites? Or where does it from? So I will actually scale for you the traffic that we're using, the traffic that we're having, that other affiliate networks are having, as Barney Stinson is like scaling up their goals. Like some are 1, some are 10, but there's a lot of that in the middle. And those are different channels that we're using. Some of them we are not using. And you will learn that. So let's start from something that is the worst part of our business, frauds. We hate them, but unfortunately, every network almost has them. It's a monster, as we call them, and those are the ugliest girls you can ever imagine. Fraudsters use abused APs. They duplicate user agents because sometimes they're just like stupid guys clicking on the ad and thinking that we'll pay them later on. Of course, we won't. Those are some blank referrals or mails like listed over here. Of course, this kind of traffic would never work for you, and this kind of traffic is something that no one really wants. But you need to be aware that it appears in affiliate networks, and as a game publisher, you need to take a specific look on the traffic that is delivered to you, because some of it might be fraudulently generated. And it means that you don't have to pay for that. When you're picking up, when you're thinking like with which affiliate network to work, ask them specifically if they have any fraud detection tool. We do, so we exactly see what kind of IPs that are coming in, that are converting, are actually abused. And we can definitely say, this one, and that one, and kick off the publishers who are delivering this shitty traffic. But it's pretty expensive if you are a developer or publisher to have it on your own. So it's really useful if the network has it. Let's go further. Incentivise Traffic. Those are those girls that still look rather ugly, but they need plastic surgery. And if you use some plastic surgery for that, it will work. So it's definitely a no if we are talking about single opt-in or double opt-in campaigns. But if we are talking about cost per player, when we require the user to be a bit more engaged in the game, so reach some kind of, I don't know, 400 points in the game, or reach the specific level in the game, like the second, third, fourth level, they get hooked up in the game. The only problem is that they are not always turning up to be playing users. So you can definitely generate a lot of traffic from incentivized channels, but those are people who usually don't really like to spend money in the game. So they like to play free-to-play games, but are not that eager to make any in-app or in-game purchases. The second thing that works pretty well with incentivized traffic are trailers. And over here, we see a lot of paying users. So how does it work? You have a virtual currency offer wall, and you tell to the end user, tell to your player, hey, watch this trailer. You don't need to register, just watch it. And if you do, we'll give you some coins, some diamonds, or whatever the virtual currency is. And those users just watch it, and if they're interested, they sign up. And that's how it works with the videos, and it's a really good acquisition channel. Number 4, So like something below average, but works for some games. Our pop unders, pop ups, site unders, all this crappy and annoying for the user's content that pops up on the streaming websites, torrent websites, places like that. You probably know that as the end user. We use that too. Affiliates use that too, and it can be burdensome for your servers because it generates click on and it generates it loads up your landing page on every time we show up the pop under, right? So if your website is big, if your landing page is big, it can cost you a lot of server usage, and it's annoying for the end users. But in the end, you can get a lot of volume from that. So if you're more oriented into volume than quality users, then it might be a good channel. Next one, so something exactly in the average, or maybe slightly even better, is the display traffic. It's a display traffic that is not some specifically targeted, like you can buy from in AdWords, right? Like retargeted and especially into interests. It's a display traffic from all over. It definitely gives you a high reach, and it definitely address very broad audience. But the conversion rate and rec to active is usually kind of low. So if you see a conversion rate, so something from click to registered user of around 0.5% to 2%, it means it comes from display. And the rec to active, depending on the game, is from around 10 to 30%, right? So only those 30% of the users that you acquired were actually turned into active users. That's not much. It requires definitely high CTR banners, so make the banners as interactive as possible. We definitely love Flash banners, so all the SVFs below 40 kilobytes, and from like even a good banner can create you a better user because you already show your end user, your player, what is the game about. So over here you have banners from Tanky Online. They're really masterpieces. They are banners and they create really high CTRs. I just love them. Next, contextually targeted media. It's not really easy to get contextually targeted media or find an affiliate who really do that. Because usually you need to pay for contextually targeted media by PPV or CPC. What does it mean? So as you see over here, you have an article about whatever, but there appears the keyword that is important for you. It says game, it says dragons if it's a dragon game. It's just matched somehow with the advertisement we want to show. So our gaming programs. And here it appears as a link, and if someone clicks on it, lands on your landing page. It creates really, really good users. But it's hard to get this channel. The second thing about it, if those are not articles, those could be also pop-ups. So if you have a toolbar and the end users are searching for online games, they not only get the search results, but they also get a pop-under that is shown to them just because they were browsing for games. So they are already interested, which makes the pop-unders or site-unders much more valuable than in the streaming or porn websites or whatever. It has really high quality. So I would really definitely recommend you this channel. But there are some more that are even better. Social media. Of course, you've heard a lot probably on this conference that Facebook is a king, Facebook works perfectly, you can target as specifically as you really want. And it's all true. And it actually creates very good users. What is cool about giving your Facebook campaigns, not running it yourself, but giving it to affiliate network, is that you don't really have this exposure to a risk that you buy on CPC or CPM. You just play your standard defined cost per lead, cost per acquisition, and we take over the risk. Yeah, or affiliates take over the risk. That at this point is also important that you brief your agency or your affiliate network that you work with about what is exactly the target of your game. Maybe we not always ask for it, but it's also in your interest, right, as a game developer, as a game publisher, to give us information about that. And the most important thing about social media is that this is exactly the place where the traffic is. So if the users are actually searching through Facebook and looking for some entertainment, just let's give them the entertainment, right? Let's give them your game. Yeah, it's important to use good call to action ads, but affiliates exactly know how to do that. Next channel, it's kind of fun websites, so all like 9gag or Reddit, places like that. It's not really easy as a game developer to come with one game and say like, hey, I want to promote my game on your website. And we say like, what? Nice. As a network, we have contacts to them because we promote a lot of games with this kind of websites. And they love games because games perform really well. Games are told to be not only ads, but also a content. So all these kind of fun websites, entertainment websites with jokes, with funny videos, with funny GIFs, with funny JPEGs, whatever, works really well and creates a conversion rate of around 10% if it's in the content stream. What is also important is that the users have really high retention, really high rec to active rate. So you can see that they're coming back in like 70% of times. That's what we saw when we run our campaigns on this kind of fun websites. What is also important is that not all of those websites are international. It's pretty easy to find fun websites or this kind of funny content websites in English or if you're in your native language. But if it comes to entering markets like Turkey or like Serbia, how many of us really speak that many languages, and how many of us can reach out to affiliates in those specific countries with those specific websites? This is why the network exists, because we gather all those affiliates with different languages and with content from all over the world to find a specific audience and specific placements for the ads of the games. Here is, for example, here is an example from Poland. I'm Polish. I love this website. I even search on it some myself, and I see it in the stream in the newsfeed, those gaming campaigns, and people click on it. But let's go further. YouTube channels. One of my favorite affiliates, and since I manage the affiliate account myself, I can somehow tell something about it, are the guys who stream or who upload the gameplays on YouTube. They are so funny. They're humble, but they are playing much better than all of us do. And they really don't want to promote their games. They're doing that for fun. But once you find them, once you find like these small guys who have extremely lot of audience themselves, and they promote your game just by making a gameplay, posting it on Facebook, on their specific channel, they can acquire for you really great users. Users who already saw the video, saw the gameplay, got this review from an influencer, from a guy who they're watching every week, maybe every day, because he's living off just showing how he plays. And then actually can create really huge volumes. We run, for example, a campaign for War Thunder with a couple of influencers, a couple of YouTube channels, acquiring hundreds of users every day from all different geographical regions. And those were players who shown around 90% rec to active, which is pretty impressive. And the last one, the one in a million, the best placements you can get as a game are the games websites. Are they websites that write about your game, write an article, write a review, give the content, give information about your game, promote not only the game, but promote also the developer, promote the publisher, and give a lot of insights about the game, are of course game websites. They create really good dedicated users, especially for games which are mid-core, hardcore, have really high rec to active, and gives you a lot of branding. This is the great point about affiliate marketing, that you get branding even though you're paying on performance. The only drawback about those websites, games websites, is okay, you will get good users, but you will get just a handful of users. So if you're more into volumes than you are into quality, or if a small number of players is just not only for your game because you have a role-play game or you have a player versus player, where you just need to have a huge number of users, then you need to find some other channels. We all want to run only on game websites, but if you want to acquire thousands of players every day, then this is not the right strategy. This is just something you can mix into your campaign, but you cannot only rely on that. So what are actually the key learnings from my speech? Is that all of us have a different taste. Yeah? So I can say that this guy is an 8, and some other girl would say, like, no, he's just 5. So for different games, different channels work differently, right? For casual games, maybe display would work better because the audience is broader. And for hardcore games, maybe YouTube channels work better because this is where the hardcore gamers are in. Second thing, quality versus quantity. So as I said, on the gaming websites, you can acquire great users, really high spenders, highly engaged, highly recommending the game to their colleagues, to their friends. But this is not a mass. This is just a handful. And if you want to have a lot of users, you need to go into display, which will show you only the average retention rate, the average rec to active, but will create this mass. This also influences the pricing that you're using. So if you want to have, if you see in your affiliate program that you're running that some sources work better, some sources work a bit worse, then you can just mix the pricing, say like for IDs this and that, I want to pay $6, and for affiliates this and that, well, they can keep on running on our campaign, but they don't show that many active users. So maybe let's just give them a bit lower pricing, as the return on investment on the game on the advertiser side is not as high. All networks are happy to do that. Another thing, like when we talk about chicks, they usually run together with the same range, right? So all the 7s run together, all the 6 run together for the parties, and you can easily ask her where to find her friends, which means like if you're talking to a network, display network, ask your display network, hey, what is your competition? And they will probably tell you. It also means that if you like some source of traffic working with a network, you can say, hey, this type of traffic works well for us. Please find us some similar affiliates doing pretty much the same, maybe in some different geographical region, maybe acquiring a bit different audience, but doing the same because this is something that works for us. And it's a win-win situation because from the network perspective, we have more knowledge about what works for our advertisers, and we can give better service to you. And you get just more traffic from the sources that run well. And the last learning is don't search for the one, just optimize. There are different strategies. You can start small with a low budget and just search slowly for good sources. On the other hand, you can say like, hey, I have this amount of budget. Let's start broad and then just optimize the campaign to the best affiliates that you can get from the network you're working on. Strategy depends on you, but it's very important to get the sub IDs from the network, to get placement IDs, to get whatever you can to optimize the campaign and to make it a masterpiece and make you acquire the players you want in the volume you want. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicja. It just wouldn't be a games conference without out-of-control misogyny, so you managed to get that there for us at the end. What providers would this audience be surprised to discover send frauds?
Can you repeat, please?
What providers would this audience be surprised to discover send them frauds?
I don't get the question. So
Fraudulent users, monsters.
So you're asking how to get the frauds, how to find them?
I'm saying, have you had any bad experiences with traffic providers who have sent you frauds?
Well, I don't want to name them.
But that's what I'm asking you.
No, I don't think I should. Well, it's important that networks, all networks, including my network, including Traffic Captain, are changing in time. So we get more knowledge, we get more software that helps us to find the frauds. But the fraudsters are also getting smarter. So
which providers are smart fraudsters?
our competition. All of them. I'm pretty sure all of them. Because you cannot actually exclude all fraudsters. They are getting smarter, as I said, and they pretty easily hiding themselves now. As I said, we usually check for IPs, abused IPs. We usually check for duplicated user agents, and we pretty much check servers, if the servers are abused and if they are organizational. But probably within 6 months, it will be not enough.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? All right. So, Alicja, we'll see you at